Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of In the Kitch with Momma Cuisine. This week I want to share with you a special recipe. It's a Filipino-style meatloaf called Embutido. It's made a lot during special occasions and the holidays. And I want to share how you could make this recipe at home with just a few simple ingredients. So let's get in the kitchen and let's start cooking. So first we want to chop our vegetables. I love the crunch of bell pepper. I always have bell pepper in part of my weekly grocery list. It's a base of a lot of really great recipes. And it's gonna add a nice crunch, very nice flavor. I cheated a little bit because I bought carrots that's already shredded for you. If you don't have shredded carrots, you could dice them up very finely or shred them yourself as well. Now this is the Philippine style meatloaf. So what you might see in here is definitely not typical of how you would cook the American style meatloaf, but I kid you not, this is very, very good. We are not gonna pre-cook any of these things. We're just gonna toss it in with our ground pork. Toss in just a handful of raisins. That's a nice addition. You might think, oh my gosh, meatloaf with raisins sounds not so good, but it is because the savory and the sweetness. I mean, Filipino food is very rooted in Spanish cuisine also. So a lot of Spanish food has, raisins in it. So this probably comes from that. And then we're gonna add some of our Zapp's dancing grains that we processed. This is such a great bread because it is healthy. It is so much better for you than typical bread. And I like this version, the Vietnam bread that Zapp's has, because it has an extra addition of flavor that I think is gonna be really, really good in our embutido. It is gonna add some texture because there's peanuts in it. It's just gonna really make things brighter and I think so much also deeper in flavor. So we're gonna grind this up and use it as our breadcrumbs. And then we're gonna mix this all up, get it all incorporated. The trick to any kind of meatloaf or meatballs that you're making at home is to not overmix it. I like using the cookie sheet because it kind of gives you a nice guide. Could see the specks of the Zapp's dancing grains on this. This looks really good. But now we start to roll it. So you take the edge of your foil and you want to lift it up and cover your eggs and your chorizo or your sausage and roll it. So it's a little bit scary at first. Make it tight with your hands, and that way it gets compacted. It literally is like you're making a huge sushi roll with meat. And then you just roll that, and then you lift it up. This is where we want to seal it so that none of the meat comes out. You may need to get another piece of foil just to seal it all back. And then what I would suggest is put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes just so it all comes together. To avoid ground meat from sticking to your hands, dip your fingers in cold water first. This Momma Cuisine quick tip is brought to you by Mark Tan Trusted Wealth Planning. So now I took out our embutido out of the oven after it's been there for about an hour at 350 degrees. Now the trick is, I know that you're so hungry, it's been in there an hour, you want to just tear it up, open it up, and eat it. But you want to resist and let it rest for at least 10 minutes. That way all the juices go back in and it's nice and juicy. Just like any meat that you put and roast in the oven, you want to let it rest. And after that, I just put it on a very simple bed of, fresh spinach, and I have my side of banana ketchup. You cannot forget your Filipino style banana ketchup. And I have my rice cooking in my rice cooker. I'm about to serve this up. So if you want this recipe, make sure you check out mommacuisine.com, try making it at home, and let me know all about it. And I'll see you next time and in the kitchen. Thanks guys, bye.